In today's video, I will do 3 things. 1. If you still need it, I will give you the encouragement to exercise and show you that the time commitment is very low. It's minutes and not hours. A story of an adventure racer who cut down his training time from 15 hours to just 1 hour a week is coming up. 2. I will provide you with science behind it so that you can be sure I'm not spreading quackery. And 3. I will give you a practical example of one such workout. It's part of my personal program to this day. Hi, I'm Pavel, an anthropologist with 0 fitness credentials, and I'm here to obliterate the fitness industry's guilt-driven business model. Because you only need 10 to 15 minutes a day to be fit and healthy. My inspiration for this video is my Italian friend. Let's call him Mario. He needs to exercise, but he's busy. And when he's not busy, he begrudges the time he thinks he would have to spend on exercise to see the results. As he puts it, I'd rather spend my free time doing things I actually like doing. Sounds familiar? I know, I felt that way too. What my friend doesn't know and finds hard to believe is that you can get the results you want and all the health benefits from doing a lot less exercise than the fitness industry would have you believe. Don't blame them, they're just trying to make a buck. Well, actually, blame them. This video is my message to Mario, but also to all of you, my YouTube friends, who've been missing just a little bit of motivation to do what will definitely be good for your body and mind. I know you're busy. Even so, please find those few minutes a day, because we're always busy. The society has taped all of the switches in the on position. By the way, if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Use the hype feature, and if you're a bit of a fan, then stay till the end. I've got a message just for you. So, Mario, what can you expect from following this advice? 1. Excellent health. 2. Fitness, as in the strength and endurance to pursue your passions, those other things you actually like doing. And 3. A great physique, which you can keep over time. These are not some extreme, unheard of outcomes. Those are to be expected. During my decade in the wilderness, trying to find the right way to get and stay fit, that didn't require me to join the Church of Fitness and buy into its bullshit dogmas. I was guided by science, which has been around for a surprisingly long time. So long, in fact, that it has been forgotten and only now is being rediscovered. There were athletes and coaches who caught on to the benefits of short bursts of exercise done in intervals to develop capacity at least as far back as 1912, with the Finnish Olympic champion runner Hannes Kolehmainen winning 3 gold medals at the 1912 Summer Games in Stockholm in the 5K, 10K, and the cross-country events. Later, there was Paavo Nurmi, love that first name by the way, who used this type of training to win 5 Olympic gold medals at the 1924 Paris Games. The first serious application of this on a wider scale was done by the Royal Canadian Air Force, which had a problem. If the Soviets were to strike the US with a nuke, the shortest route would have been over Canada. So, as an upstanding ally, Canada stationed planes and pilots in the frozen tundra of its Arctic, where they would have been able to intercept those nuke-laden bombers from Siberia. But in the Arctic, the sun barely rises in the winter, and the average temperature is minus 15 degrees Celsius. Predictably, the guys charged with protecting the free world weren't getting enough daily activity, and in the 1950s, 1/3 of all Canadian pilots was so out of shape that they were considered unfit to fly. The RCAF had to do something about it, and fast. And so the 5BX protocol was born. 5BX, by the way, stands for 5 Basic Exercises. It was a series of progressively more difficult workouts designed to be repeated 3 times a week. It required no specialized equipment, and the entire session lasted 11 minutes and could have been done within the limited space of those little warm boxes in the Arctic. The RCAF then published a pamphlet for civilians in 1961 with the entry level designed for people who never ever worked out before. And it was an instant success, now forgotten except for some of those whose memory goes back that far. Fun fact. Actress Helen Mirren credited her good form with keeping up with her 5BX regimen, calling it the elixir of youth. So the principles have been around for a long time and they work, and only now is science catching up in finding out exactly how it works and what are the various benefits down to the cellular and mitochondrial level. But the most important point is that you don't need a huge time commitment to get and stay fit. By the way, the story has caveats in that the principles are sound, but as far as the 5BX exercises themselves, some of them may not be so great for people over 40 from the injury prevention point of view. In my routines, I always try to go with movements that are less likely to break or tear things, because it hurts. Now for the story of the adventure racer. Andy Magnus runs in ultramarathons and adventure races in some of the world's most difficult terrain. Andy became a father in 2007 and could no longer spend 15 hours a week training, so that's why he resorted to high-intensity workouts to cut down this time to just an hour. But does this approach only work for young men chasing adventure races or trying to save the US from a nuclear holocaust? Not at all. The Norwegian Generation 100 study tracked 1,500 men and women in their 70s and found that high-intensity interval training didn't just improve cardiovascular fitness after 1, 3, and 5 years, it also boosted physical and mental quality of life compared to both the moderate intensity and the control group. There is more good news from science about the time commitment. Ulrich Wisloff set out to answer this simple question: how little exercise will still make a difference? You and I might ask this in another way: how little can I get away with? They tested two groups of overweight but otherwise healthy middle-aged men. One group followed the Norwegian protocol, 4 intense 4-minute sprints separated by rest. The other group did just one 4-minute sprint. Both groups did this exercise 3 times a week. After 10 weeks, the results were striking. The group doing all 4 sprint sessions saw a 13% boost in cardiovascular fitness, but the single sprint group wasn't far behind at 10%. So the lesson is, you can do way less and still get the most of the benefit. Mario, are you listening to me? Even a 4-minute sprint at high intensity is no joke though. For me, 20 to 30 seconds of all-out effort is enough. I feel that if you can go all out for more than a minute, you're not really going all out. But the moral of the story is that a little can go a very long way. Lack of time? Not an excuse. Remember the BBC's The Truth About Exercise? Even a 30-second bike sprint dramatically improved that journalist's blood work. Less really can be more. And to further answer the question of how little can I get away with, Martin Gibala, who researches interval training, suggests that even 1 minute of hard exercise, even when it's broken into 2 or 3 seconds long sprints, can make a big difference. I call them sprints, but as you will see in my example workout later, they can be almost anything. I think, like me, you might be a little bit curious. Why and how? How on earth does it work? Well, it's about flipping your body's switches, which can be about how long you exercise, but it can also be about how intensely you exercise. Go hard enough, fast enough, and you'll deplete your energy reserves in no time, triggering profound adaptations. At first, it's hard to wrap your head around it. How could a few explosive sprints lasting seconds achieve what a marathon delivers in hours? It's time for a sci-fi analogy. Imagine your body is like Battlestar Galactica, struggling to outrun the Cylons. Think death? Perfect analogy, right? 2 fuel-related scenarios will send the crew into a frenzy. First, the helium tank runs dry after a long trip, just short of their destination. The crew scrambles, reroutes power, sealing non-essential systems and yelling, "The gods of Kobol, save us!" This mirrors what happens when you work out for long durations, like during a marathon or an hour-long gym session, slowly depleting your reserves. But there is another scenario. A sudden dramatic drop in fuel levels. One moment you're cruising with the tank full, the next the gauge plummets halfway. Something is very wrong. At this rate, the ship won't make it. The crew reconfigures systems to keep moving and also yells, "The gods of Cobalt, save us!" only louder. But unlike the Galactica, which can only burn through what it has, your vessel is a biological wonder that levels up under pressure. Run it low on fuel, and it starts upgrading itself to handle the next challenge better. Your muscles grow stronger, your heart pumps more efficiently, and your cells produce more mitochondria, which are the little powerhouses that give us energy. The magic lies in that rapid depletion. Your body says, "Whoa, this is serious, time to adapt, and fast, gods of Kobol save us." That's the secret to getting stronger, fitter, and more resilient. It's not just survival, it's leveling up. Now, important disclaimer. Can you drop dead from this? Yes! But remember, you can drop dead from doing anything and also from doing nothing. Exercising, especially at higher intensity, raises your risk of a heart incident while you're doing it, and for an hour or so after. It's called a transient risk because, in the long term, exercise decreases your risk over those who don't exercise. So be sure to consult with your doctor and don't blame an anthropologist you saw on YouTube. Here is some food for thought, though. In the 1990s, Katharina Meyer started to use this type of training to rehabilitate people after cardiac incidents. The scientific community was aghast. They thought she was going to kill all her patients, but eventually she was proven right, and it is now a standard approach to cardiac rehabilitation. Okay, let's do this. Here is my workout, and today I'm going to do push-ups. But do Radio Taiso first. This is my warm-up and stretch in 1. Then fast 20 to 30 seconds or to failure, whichever comes first or pleases you more. Remember, you are getting the benefit. If you've had enough, you've had enough. If you feel like one more, then catch your breath for 30 seconds or a couple of minutes and go again. That's it. You're done. Don't try to do more and give yourself enough recovery time before you exercise this part of your body again. Wait a few days, at least, if not a week, and exercise different muscle groups if this feels like your thing. You can do variations. If you need to get up to speed, then use your knees, not feet. Or if you're a pro, you can do these upside down push-ups. But no, really, don't try them at home. Not just yet. You can also do other exercises. Looks a lot like a bastardized Tabata, doesn't it? So let's just call it Sendyka. Isn't it great to have a Japanese-sounding name? If you'll do this sort of thing 3 to 4 times a week, you will start to feel the changes in your body after 2 to 3 weeks. Things to remember. Consistency beats intensity every time. Because of the low time commitment, you are actually more likely to do them than to go to the gym. By the time you'd pack and get to the door, you're done. But those short bouts of exercise add up, and you will also be forming a life-saving habit. It's also a great break from your sitting life. Some version of them can be done anywhere, even in office clothes, and they are time limited, so you won't even break a sweat. Do this instead the next time you have a minute or two and you're tempted by social media. Unless, of course, you're tempted to watch my channel, in which case that's definitely okay. Yes. Let me bring up a point that I feel is very important, so I will be repeating it again and again until it sinks in. Everybody keeps on saying, weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. But that shouldn't be your objective. It should be health. And you should know that for fat people who are fit, the harmful effect of fat just disappears. So says Stephen Blair from the University of South California, who has looked into it in his research. So it's great to have both, but getting fit and healthy should be your priority. The energy expenditures of what I showed you is negligible. It's not the ticket to weight loss. You have to look into your diet and other things for that. But it is a ticket to a healthier you. What do you think, Mario? Does it sound like something you'd do? What about the rest of you? Please let me know in the comments below. Finally alone. Thank you for being among the 30% that sticks around to the end. The creator economy is harsh, and YouTube's algorithm can be as unpredictable as a cat. To prevent me from fading away and to keep creating content that's meaningful and not just clickbait, I'm building a tribe of 1,000 true fans. A community that will help me stay independent of algorithmic whims and focused on delivering content that makes you healthier and happier. The first 100 spots are open now on Buy Me a Coffee. For $7 a month, the original 100 will get lifetime access to my upcoming $900 course on being fit in 10 to 15 minutes a day, a founding role in a community of like-minded people with a voice in shaping the future content. And of course, the eternal glory of being one of my first supporters. Why 900 for the course? That's about 3 months of a fancy gym membership. But this course will give you the skills to stay fit for life. And as one of the original 100, you'll get it free because you'll be my sponsors, my benefactors, my founding tribe members. Think of it as funding the final leg of a mammoth 10-year project, but way cooler. The link is in the description below. Thanks for your time, your support, and for being part of this from the very start. See you next time. Bye.